What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's get right into it. How I became the #1 high performance hypnotherapist in the world by every metric. All right. So I'm gonna try and condense this down a bit, but before we even begin, two things. Number one, hit the thumbs up button. I don't care what else you do. You can subscribe, you can comment, whatever, but just hit the thumbs up button. It boosts the video in the algorithm. And number two, join the Quantum Leap Academy if you are trying to activate yourself, if you are trying to get into peak performance mode. Join the Quantum Leap Academy. Anyway, with that being said, three things. I would credit three things, I'm looking at my notes, that allowed me to become the #1 high performance hypnotherapist in the world. The first things first is being very, very good at what I do. So this is a combination of hours and hours and hours and hours and days and months and years of practice. Lots of practice when it comes to not just hypnosis, but like understanding people, learning how to listen, sales, content, so on and so forth. Hours and hours and hours of practice, but focusing specifically on the core craft, which is hypnosis. That took me a very, very long time to learn and to do right. And I think what helped me as well was having a background in wellness. So I started studying under my meditation and holistic wellness instructor. And the first thing I was introduced to was meditation. And thank God that was my introduction to wellness, because that taught me to take care of the very, very simple, basic foundational things like breathing, mindfulness, being mindful of my thoughts, being mindful of what I say, which is self-hypnosis, getting in tune with my body, my diet, so on and so forth. And all these things slowly but surely, it was like Karate Kid. It was a lot of like mundane wax on, wax off stuff until you realize that, okay, now you're a karate master, right? So that's what meditation did for me. And then that turned into sound meditation. So I started getting really into sound frequencies and how those actually heal the body on a cellular level. You should go watch those videos of how sound like morphs sand and cells and stuff like that. And sound meditation turned into a really, really deep obsession with hypnotherapy and hypnosis, and here we are today. So my background allowed for a smooth transition. I didn't have to go to like the formal school or institution. Not that there is really a formal place to do that or a formal avenue. And then also just immense amounts of practice. I just wanted to get really, really good at this thing. So that was the first thing. The second thing is a massive amount of output. So for the longest time, I wanted to ignore social media because I'm kind of old school and private in that way. But I couldn't ignore any longer the how much social media can supercharge one's business. And when I got on social media, I decided to take it seriously and put out 10 times the amount of content than the next guy, and 10 times the amount of content than what I thought I should have been putting out. So if it was putting out, 5 pieces of content a week, I would be putting out 50 pieces of content a week, something like that. And that really helped me turn things up a lot. Like that helped me get my name out there a lot. And when you're a nobody, there's no such thing as oversaturating your market. Like everybody's running into your stuff. There are people running into your stuff for the first time every single day. That's the first thing. And the third point is I was very, very focused, and still am very, very focused on a very specific kind of niche and a very specific kind of person that I would like to work with and that I work with best. And that person is the high performer, usually an entrepreneur or someone like very high up in a corporate position or very, very skilled at something, and they're highly driven, very A-type personalities, just because that's what I can relate to, and that's my background before wellness. And it's not really like the teenager, it's not really like the senior citizen. It's like the person who's midway through their career, their journey, who has made money. They don't need me to tell them or to show them how to make money. It's just they have done things long enough their way that they know that they can keep making money, but they'll still feel this disconnect, this lack of satisfaction, so on and so forth. So I was very focused, and how I summarized that was high performers slash high earners, because they tend to overlap, right? So that is that. Practice plus a wellness background is number one. Number two, a massive amount of output of content. And number three, being very, very focused. Now, let me touch on number two a little bit more, because I forgot something here. So the only real equation, and this is $1 million worth of advice right here, literally. But the only equation that I follow when it comes to building a platform or a business or whatever it is massive growth. So massive growth of your platform or your business equals massive value times massive output. So meaning if you want to grow quickly, or if you want to grow into a very big thing, you need to provide a massive, so take whatever you think is massive and then make it bigger than that. A massive amount of value to the person on the receiving end, and then you have to do that a massive amount of times. Not everybody knows how to provide a massive amount of value. Sometimes we think we're providing value to a person, but it's really not that valuable, or they resonate with a different part of us than what we thought. So the way to correct that is by doing it enough times, because what happens is when you put out enough content, in this example, you get information back on what resonates with people and what doesn't. Maybe you aren't that great of a speaker. Maybe you aren't that great of a writer. So you know, because your content is, no one's really engaging with it, you know that you got to make some adjustments. And if you don't put out content as much as you should, you're not going to get that kind of feedback or information. So it's going to take you a really, really long time to know how to pivot or where to go, right? So that's why massive output is so important. And also like, it's a testament to the folks that I'm working with that like, hey, I hold myself to a really high standard. You should too, right? I hold you to a high standard because I hold myself to a high standard. So if I expect you to do a lot, it's because I'm doing a lot too, all right? Anyway, so that is all. Other than that, guys, like, a lot of this stuff kind of happens by chance, and I don't like saying by chance, but like in being in the stream of who you need to be. I didn't foresee myself necessarily being the number one high performance hypnotherapist in the world, but I saw myself being the number one of something, right? And I knew that in order to achieve that, I had to be a man of focus, discipline, consistency, and sheer will. And then when I'm walking on that path and I'm focusing on those character traits, then it kind of leads me in the direction of, okay, here's where the universe or God wanted to put me. It's as a high performance hypnotherapist. It's not like I'm beelining for that. It's like, you know, I know who I want to show up as, and then I insert myself slowly but surely. It's like, you know, that gambling game, whatever it's called, Pong, whatever it is, where like you fall through the cones and you kind of find your place. Like that's, or Tetris, it's like Tetris. But anyway, so that's what that's like. So I summarized it a lot. Not everybody gets to see like the ups and downs of what I do. Nobody really gets to see the good days or the bad days. And I've been debating even talking about that stuff or showing that stuff. Like I know I was doing more vlog style stuff before, but like I just don't have time for that. So I'm going to focus on more educational stuff. More exclusive videos available for Quantum Leap Academy members. You guys already know. You guys are where my focus are. So join now. We have an ongoing promo. It's $5 a month for a very, very limited amount of time. So join. Thumbs up. I'm out. Peace.